Hey, what's up everyone? It's Lalo here. I hope we're doing awesome. I feel happy. I feel healthy. I feel terrific. So, this is the way to start the day. Despite even if you get ticket on your windscreen, notice to pay 50 pounds, dollar or whatever. Because at the time when those negative things actually happen, you have all the justified, of course, reason to feel bad, to start the day in the wrong way. And there will be so many reasons for you through the day to actually feel even worse as the day progresses. So therefore, it is vitally and necessary and necessity important to stay on the top of the game. So when you start in the morning and have your toothbrush, coffee, sandwich, breakfast, newspaper, magazine, exercise, music, video, shower, whatever it is. It is absolutely a necessity those days to stay on the top of the games, to actually avoid watching television, watching radio, and read the negative information, because they the one which set you for a day. And if they are negative information, wars, terrors, accidents, robberies, rapes, and I don't know, disease, you just setting yourself for a day full of bad, negative vibration, and that will affect subconsciously probably everybody around you. It is actually interesting that many people say that there is intelligence, and it will look after your body if you it will care after your body if you just let it alone. It is true in a sense. The difficult part is that the conscious mind always interferes with its senses evidence based on the outer appearance. And those leads to this wave of false beliefs, fears, and mere opinions. So when fears, false beliefs, and negative thoughts patterns are made registered to the subconscious through psychological and emotional conditions, there is no other option for the subconscious than to act on the blueprint offered it. So you will see at once that this is radically new and different idea. Why? To understand the concept of superpower, conscious and subconscious. When the two work in harmony, you will have health, happiness, poise, and joy of life, because you will keep the key to the power that will be yours when you understand that the conscious and subconscious, when work together in harmony, in accord and concord, in will work in harmony, in accord and concord harmoniously together, you will have health, happiness, joy, and peace. There is no discord or there is no disease when the two works together harmoniously and synchronously. It is abnormal for the human beings to be sick. The condition of sickness means that you're going against the stream of nature and you think negatively. And why at the same time it's actually the right thing to be healthy? Well, simply say it that way, that every child, every average child that is born into the world, it is in perfect health. And you know it. You know it. We know it. We were in perfect health. The interesting thing about our body when we are babies is that the most important fundamental element that our nature, our body, and every other person, body, child, it is programmed simply installed in our biomechanics to primarily seek for preserving life, keep us healthy. This is just how it is. That is just amazing. And when we understand this superpower, that if you just thinking, tap to that power and think positively and affirm good, and the bad will vanish, because eliminating every stress and stay in the point zero, this will, for the long period of time, it will not make you fulfilled, happy, and satisfied, just because human beings actually require progress. Progress is the only one fundamental element that is just built by the nature, that we have to grow, we have to develop. That's why we getting we are born and we going through the process, and we all the time actually growing. Okay, that is just evidence of the nature. And the evidence of the growth is actually in the nature, in every plant, every animal, and every human beings. To look for the strength and power in the world without, it is the failure of the ages, because all the growth of nature is from within, and the grand evidence is just right there. So how to wrap it up all this? It is actually juicy information, because it is kind of like bending reality. Having said that before, that the mind is actually, if we only let this intelligence alone, which is our body, and make it way for it, that would require, just like, let's say, go back about 200 years back, when we have no shops, no so much food available, basic stuff, and then back then we eliminating surely 95% of degenerative disease, cancer, Alzheimer, diabetes, Parkinson, you name it, whatever it is, it wasn't there. The conditions that they had at the time, it was purely for the lack of sanitation, for the fundamental most primary reason. If someone was sick, again, if there was some record from the books that people get something and they were obese, well, this was just the record of those people who have access to the food and just go wild, drinking wine, eating whatever and eating a lot, overindulgence. The same today. We have, if you are out of balance, if you don't care of what you put to your mouth, going back to 100 years, you have water, you hunt something, or you eat grains and vegetables, or whatever mom would cook, which means probably use the grains and do the bread, and every now and then have some poultry, chicken, whatever, and that will sustain probably healthy lifestyle. And keep in hygiene, sanitation, that will allow, and not labor hard, that will probably allow to stay in the very healthy condition, physical. And emotion, it is another thing. Today we have so much garbage, that's why we have to tap into that power and bend that reality and go back and thinking how it was like 200 years ago. Like we didn't have Coca-Cola, we didn't have so much juice that are loaded with the sugar on the shelf in the shop, and that caused the cancer, because cancer is fed with sugar, refined sugar, not sugar from the fruits, because that is simple sugar. And even whatever you're going to call it, whichever you're going to call it, whichever name, it is just a natural form. It was always there. Let's say banana. When someone say, well, you should not eat so many bananas. Well, let's make it simple. There is abundance evidence that people eating bananas and have no side effect whatsoever, not even one, and monkey eat the bananas, and they are the fastest animals. I would say absolutely. So they are feeding themselves with that. So they're getting the powers, potassium, sulfate, I don't know, whatever, you name it, everything is there. So when some people say just, well, you should not eat so many of them, we should just use the logic and reasons. Nobody dies from overeating bananas. So why would you thinking the way to limitate yourself to not eat so many of them when there is so much backup actually to go for it and to eat it and never think about that because of the sugar or whatever. People talk strange stuff, and especially obese people, especially people who have built a portion of their body. They will say things and they have no clue what they're saying because they mix the food, sweets, cakes, fruits with the food, like dinner, like breakfast, like whatever. And again, there is so many principles that people not using, people are totally lost in the world and doing whatever, and they have whatever result, and that's why we live in this reality that we have to unwrap it and make it simple. That's why people like me are using logic, deduction, taking away the feathers, the garbage, the nonsense, and going to the core and finding the true sources, like source of food. When we talk about calories, people talk in general about calories, that has this and that. I would just simply say, what qualities of calories are that? If we just going to drop a piece of fish, breaded piece of fish, into deep pan oil with fried oil, which is hydrogenetical trans fatty oil, and now you dump that their chips, you dump their fish, and then you're going to eat it. It is surely full loaded with calories. And then on the other side we have bananas, apples, and berries, and melon, avocado, and you name it, anything from the nature. Yes, we have sugars there, but so what? It is simple sugar that exists from thousands of years, and nobody was dying from that. So that is simplicity. Natural sugar from the fruits and refined sugar from the bag of white sugar that is created from vegetable or kind of fruity vegetable. But the way it is processed, it is used, it is going through process of high refination through high temperature. So whatever was alive is dead. So that's the trouble. And it is actually simple, just to cut out the feather and eliminate and go into simplicity. And that's how we get into the core. That's how we get into the cause. You know, whatever you have in the world, if it's the car, if it's the clothes, if it's the university, if it's the house, if it's the wife, if it's the girlfriend, whatever is that. The cause of that was first in your thoughts, in your head. And whatever you got, it was just the effect of your thinking. So the same is with the trouble with this conscious mind is actually there is no trouble. It is the trouble with understanding. If we understand the power between the conscious and subconscious, how it operates and how everything sneaks in through the conscious mind, that because we are so confused with information, and the conscious is the superpower that is uploading to the subconscious, and subconscious work with repetition. Whatever we keep repeating, boom, at some point as you learn to cycle emotionally, you will learn, and then you go, and now you have butterflies and you're so happy like a kid, and then you just remember what's happened, and now it's hard actually to take away that what you've learned. Now you crack the code. Now your subconscious actually unlock the key by repetition. Finally, blueprint is, and the path is beaten, and when subconscious get it, it works automatically. So that's the power. When you keep repeating the positive, I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific, and when you keep doing that day after day and day after day, let's say for 30 days, stop drinking caffeine, stop using sugar, that become your habits. And now we use conscious mind to implement to the subconscious, because subconscious is the superpower. It's operate our body, our lungs, our heart, our mind, everything when you sleep, when you are conscious. And especially that you are in coma in the time when you are addicted to cigarettes, weed, alcohol, anything like that, because you not stay in control. Your habits controlling you. So the message is supposed to be short and quick, but it is actually pretty rich. Now you have to extract that yourself and see for yourself. I believe there is inspiration for you to understand every moment of your life. When you consciously keep repeating, the good, the bad will vanish, and it's powerful. It is absolutely powerful, and it is necessity for you to succeed in life, because negative power is destructive power. When we dwell into sickness, we get the sickness. When we dwell into health, we confirm, we believe, and we act, and then we get the result that we promoting. And the science of being well composed two forms: thoughts and action. It is not enough for the man to only think a certain way. He must apply his thoughts to himself, and he must express and externalize them in his outer world and act the same way as you think. So all that makes sense. When you actually think first about look good, you need to do the action. You need to eat better, and you have to go and to the gym and train in order to get the result. Just by thinking, you will not get the result that you want. Maybe it's possible because the power of conscious, the power of the subconscious mind, it is absolutely powerful, but you have to take some action. Eat better and do some kind of exercise. Without cutting the bad food, you won't probably achieve the good result. So I think this juicy information are incredible. Won't you agree? When you understand this power and relation between conscious and subconscious minds, the power can be yours, and you can tap into that, and you can improve until you master it, and then everything becomes easy. So I hope this clarify a lot. Slavo, take care, till next one. Have an awesome evening.